What up, Viking fans? And thank you for tuning in to the Skol State of Mind podcast. As you already know, I'm your host, D Woods, but let's cut the chit chat. Let's get into the topic of discussion. I know we all seen it on ESPN. I know we probably seen it on social media. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Mike Tannenbaum going on ESPN and talking about the Minnesota Vikings should trade for Russell Wilson. Now, we're not going to talk about what Russell Wilson is or what Russell Wilson was, because if the Minnesota Vikings were interested in Russell Wilson's services, they would have signed him in the offseason for the vet minimum. Now, we got to look at it at a different angle. This is how I've been peeping it. For the past couple of weeks, ever since J.J. McCarthy's devastating knee injury, I feel like our fan base has been a little desperate online. I feel like our fan base has been like mourning a little bit. And I understand it. I get it. Like, I was excited about J.J. McCarthy too. But if you look at ESPN's stance and their point of view, they content creators also. So they don't necessarily follow the local media like we do. So if they go on social media and see the fan base in disarray, they going to go with that. Because, I mean, you guys already know what it been. Sam Darnold can't get it done. Sam Darnold is a bust. We don't believe in him. I mean, I got people, who I don't really talk to on a day-to-day basis contacting me and is like, hey, man, I know you're a Viking fan, but what y'all going to do at quarterback? And I got to explain it to him like, yeah, it's unfortunate from what happened to J.J. McCarthy, but he wasn't slighted as a starter. I mean, it was a possibility that J.J. McCarthy would have started the season or took over mid-season, whatever, but it wasn't no guarantee. And for Mike Tannenbaum to go on ESPN and basically say this is the same situation when basically the Minnesota Vikings traded for Sam Bradford when Teddy Bridgewater got hurt, that lets you know he ain't really paying attention to the day-to-day operations of this team, because it's two different situations. When Teddy Bridgewater got hurt, they basically came off of a bad playoff loss with, against the Seattle Seahawks, where basically Blair Walsh missed the kick. And that team was basically slated to do some damage and win now mode that season. And that's not what J.J. McCarthy was. J.J. McCarthy was basically a developmental quarterback that had the potential of starting. So we got to basically stop jumping out the window and getting so upset, because all these guys are doing is just creating content for themselves. And with the season coming up, in the next 2 weeks, I just feel it's best for us as Viking fans to basically galvanize together, get around this team, and basically see what it is. I mean, we already done lived through a couple of bad seasons, a lot of bad seasons, right? It probably won't be the last. So let's just make this year the best that we can, because we're going to see a lot of this happening, especially with these big networks, to basically create kind of talking points, especially right now when we're in the last week of preseason. I mean, there's a lot of storylines to talk about, but you go out there and you be like, oh, Russell Wilson should get traded. Oh, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields is battling for the number one quarterback slot in Pittsburgh. And it's like, as a Vikings fans, we don't want to hear that shit. It is what it is. Me personally, I'm on roll with Sam Darnold. Sink or swim, that's our quarterback. It is what it is. But let's just stop jumping out the window so much and let's band together. Skol, baby.